Hey guys, this is Mr. Tadero coming at you via screencast to share with you the results of our union survey. I feel like this will be a good thing for you to see so that you can see where the rest of your colleagues stand on some of the issues that we're going to bring to the table when it comes to negotiating the contract. So the first thing just shows you the demographics. So it looks like 90% of our teachers that have filled the survey out are classroom teachers, with 1% being resource and 1% art, music, PE, tech, or STEM. So we slide on down to the next slide. This is one that's kind of useful. I like this one right here. So if we look at this one, it shows us that 15 people from the primary have filled it out, 4 from the middle school, and 2 from the high school. Now, I don't want to seem preachy, but you know, if you want your concerns to be heard and you want that to factor in to our overall data, which you're about to see, go ahead and log in, take less than a minute, fill the survey out, and let your 2 cents be heard. Okay, moving right along. We have years of experience. You know, it looks pretty even, you know. It looks pretty even, spread out pretty even here. With 30% of our people having more than 20 years of experience, which is pretty cool. So you can see how that shakes down right there. So there's a good variation of experience that we are looking at right now. All right, how satisfied are you with the contract as it is? It looks like, you know, 81% of you say somewhat satisfied, and then 28% are somewhat unsatisfied. Now look, like I said, if you're looking at this and you're thinking, oh, hey, hold on a second, you know, I'm really satisfied with it, I better get my 2 cents in, or I'm just, you know, I'm not satisfied whatsoever. You know, you're gonna want to, especially if you're not satisfied, you're gonna want to log in and get this filled out so that your voice can be heard. What percentage of the yearly wage increase would you be satisfied with? So it looks like most of you want us to shoot for 3%. You know, I mean, yeah, that would be great. That would be great. With 28% of you suggesting 2% would be fine. My thought is if we got 2% per year over 3 years, that's a win. I'd be happy with that. Now, if we got 3% per year over 3 years, that'd be great too. But so it looks like some good data there for us to work with. If you have not reached the top of the salary scale, how important to you is it to move up the salary scale 1 step each year? Okay, it looks like most of you view this as something that's very important. I know I want to try to eliminate some of the pay freezes that we have in our current setup. So, but 74% of you, of the 21 people, 15 of you are saying, hey, that's an important topic, and that's certainly something we're going to address. If you were at the top of the base salary scale, which would you prefer? Okay, most of you are unsure, but I assume the 35% that are wanting to add a step to the scale, that this applies to you. So again, if you're at the top of the pay scale and you want to weigh in, please do so that we can have better and more accurate information to work with when we go to the negotiation table. If your bargaining team is faced with a decision to accept higher wages in exchange for increased out-of-pocket healthcare expenses, including copay on monthly premium, which would you support? This is a big one, you guys. This is a big one. Because look at what you're saying right now. You're saying, look, we'll take less wage increase and preserve our current levels of out-of-pocket healthcare. So you're saying, leave the healthcare alone, preserve it, and we'll take less pay. That's the way I interpret it. You know, I mean, we'll sit down as a team and interpret this data. But again, this is important stuff, especially when it concerns healthcare and our potential rates. So it looks like 20% of you are suggesting, hey, higher wage increase with increased out-of-pocket expenses. So there you have that. How satisfied are you with the current workday language in the contract? So 57% of you are saying, yeah, you're somewhat satisfied. 9% are saying very satisfied. 30% basically saying not satisfied. So we're spread around pretty evenly. I can tell you that our LRC, Chris Dodd, suggests that the language as it is in our contract, comparatively speaking, when we're looking at other contracts in the county. Ours has some gaps and some holes in it. So we're definitely going to address that. Are meetings held during common collaborative time used effectively in your building? Okay. 55% of us are saying yes, sometimes they are. Some of you are saying all the time, okay? So there you have that information. Okay, the next one. Is professional development held during common collaborative time used effectively in your building? Most of you say, yeah, sometimes, usually. So look, if you look at this all the time, usually, sometimes, it's looking like this is not a big issue. So, we'll take that data. If that's something that you feel that it's rarely or never, you're going to want to weigh in then. How much common time should be used for meetings or PD? Okay, so how much common time should be used for meetings and PD? The current amount is appropriate. The majority of you said that. I would agree with that, but 25% of you are saying we should have less of that. You're going to want to weigh in on this one if you feel like you want this number here to be more. How satisfied are you with the current grievance process? This is very telling, because look at this right here. Unsure and don't know. 76% of our people right now, that's only 21 of you, say they're not sure or they don't know. So this might tell us that we need to do a small PD on what that process is and how it works. And that's something I'm going to actually put out via screencast. It'll be a short little video talking about our grievance process as it is right now. Moving right along. How important are the following? More planning time. 47% of you are saying it's not important. 33% say somewhat important. Only 14% of you are saying it's very important. I know some of the high school folks might just, say, hey, wait a minute, preps and planning, that's an important deal. So if you're one of those people, log in, take the survey. Retain current amount of planning time. Everyone thinks that's important. We're not planning on giving up any ground with our planning or preps. That would be my stance on that. Protect planning time from meetings and PD. 61% say that's somewhat important. 24% say it's very important. I don't want our planning time to be invaded on really at all. So that would be my position on that, and we'll have to see what the team comes up with. But your data suggests that as well. Retain duty-free lunch. 81% say that's very important. Keep in mind, the majority of the folks that have answered this survey are elementary teachers, and so that's important for folks in this building. So high school and middle school weigh in so that we can have a balanced approach to this data. Early release, late start for professional development. 71% of you say that's somewhat important. 9% say very important. And then you have 10% not important, 10% unsure. So, that's interesting there. Union slash district collaboration and committees. We're split on that. So if that doesn't suit you, if you're looking at this right now thinking, oh man, that's very important to me, weigh in and so that your voice can be heard. Limits to classroom interruptions. I think some of my middle school folks will say that's very important, especially right now. So if you're looking at this, again, weigh in and hit that very important button so that we can go into negotiations with accurate information. 2 weeks for winter break. You have 42% saying very important, somewhat important. So really about 90% of you are like, hey, let's keep the winter break at 2 weeks. I certainly would agree with that. 1 week for spring break. 47% say very important, 23%, so 75% of you are wanting to leave the week that week alone. It is a week right now. I would agree. Again, if it's not important to you, you want to weigh in, make sure you do so. Tuition reimbursement. 71% of you are saying that's really important. I think this is an important thing. We should maybe improve that, or at the very least leave it how it is. Increase in stipend pay. 14% say very important. 42% of you say, somewhat important. 28% not important. Some of you are unsure, 14%. So if this is important to you, you got to weigh in on that as well. Retaining bereavement days. Very important, 50, almost 60% of you. It looks like 90% of us say, hey, this is important. Our bereavement days are an important thing. So if that's something you disagree with, again, weigh in and so we can have accurate information. I'm not going to go over individual comments. It is anonymous, but it says, what are your top 3 concerns going into negotiations? List your items from most important to least important. I maybe go over a couple of these, but you can see them. I'll scroll nice and slow so you guys can see. I'm not going to read to you, but you've been able to see these. I'll scroll nice and easy here down so that you can see what folks are saying. Okay, there you have that. Okay, days to hours. I know that's been a recurring theme. Snow day makeups, that would be days to hours. All right. So you got an idea of what people are saying and how people are weighing, and you can pause your screen if you want to get some of that done. Would you be interested in helping promote what was known as issue 3? Thank you guys. Most of you were like, yes, it's very important to us, especially fiscally. If issue 3 doesn't pass, it's going to be a real different situation when we're at the negotiation table. It's going to be, I think, preventing cuts, and it's a total different ballgame. If we pass that, it's going to be a normal. Now we're trying to get 2 and 3% per year for 3 years, so totally different ballgame. So hopefully that passes. Are you happy right now with the insurance that we're currently carrying? 90% of you say yes. 90% of you say yes. If your answer was no for the question above, please explain what you would like to see change. And here you go, pause your screen. You can read those and check that out. All right, guys, hopefully this was informative. Hopefully everybody will log in and fill out the survey. Thank you very much. Tadero out.